I mean, we could be. Not yet. Here, we need to get a better. See what I'm working with. Get my shit straight. These are oversized. Hello, Sharon. Smooth and creamy, it's so fun for me. Alright. Garbage. And then we're just digging into the stuff for the music today. It's Nick Perito and his orchestra with Blazing Latin Brass. I have never heard this album before. That I'm not using, that I'm not using. That is there. That gets out of my way. I did forget one important element, which is the postcards that we're going to be sorting. All right. So we are going to start with the biggest state in terms of postcards for what I have in stock. Oh, you're very welcome, Sharon. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure. This is a little bit brassy for me this morning, I think. I do enjoy me that like 60s loungy Latin kind of stuff, but not the album I'm feeling this morning. But this is The album art on this one is very indicative of the era. Reminds me of a Command Records album. You ever seen Command Records? Let's see if I can find it. Should be one in here, maybe. It's like all the Enoch Light stuff from the 60s. Yeah. Ooh. The Mighty Wurlitzer in Living Stereo. What else we got here? Henry Renee. This is a weird one. I have no idea what this is. Hey Don. Stan and Doug Go Country and Western. I've had this for some time now. I've never listened to it. I don't think anyone knows who Stan and Doug is. I don't know who Stan and Doug is. Let's find out who Stan and Doug is. It looks like a Swedish comedy music album.
Everybody's talking at me.
Oh my god.
I don't hear a word they're saying. I broke my hearing aid last night. Tell me about a few Swedish midnight cowboys. I can see their mouths are moving, but I can't hear a darn thing, either in my left ear or my right. Go on there, huh? All I hear is sounds of silence. It's quiet as a tomb. Wish I could hear again the human voice.
I do not know what this is.
I can't even hear
It is definitely Swedish comedy, like a parody song of.
A room is a place where they serve drinks, you know, a ballroom. That's that it. Everybody's screaming at me. I can't hear a word they're saying. I've been using.
So Don, there are, and honestly, the dead space is dead because of these stupid ass bins, which are not built for this kind of storage, honestly.
Yes, I'll start to use some semaphore, or use semi-5 or semi-6, whatever. I guess I've got a worn-out battery, or maybe it's a short. Perhaps
This is weird.
It's a loose connected wire. You got a short circuit. It could be the condenser, or maybe the tube. I think I'll throw the whole thing in the fire. Why don't you call Alec? Electrician. Everybody yelling.
Electrician.
I can hear a bird there say.
I think I equal parts love this and hate this.
I think you must too. Joy, everybody screaming at me. I can hear a bird there say. I think I'll have to practice reading lips. Yeah, you better do that. Speak off, I am. What is that? Can't you stop up a little louder there, please?
Oh, it's autographed.
And I said it, but sounds like. Write it, scream it up on paper. Yeah, then I'll do that. Speak up, Howard. Listen, I can't read your writing. You can't read my writing. I think I've lost my direct line to the track. This is embarrassing. What is it again? I'm talking loud at you. Oh, speak up,
Howard. All right, Fishing and Picking, you're right. I use all of that material. It will all get used again.
I am glad that I'm a oxen from Wisconsin, a place where all us squareheads grow so tall. We still like sports back in Wisconsin, with left side herring, cheese, and Fisker ball. You all eat like Copenhagen snooze and lingonberries. Eat sugar lumps and we drink coffee too. I am glad that I'm a oxen from Wisconsin, or even Minnesota. Well, here we go.
This again. Yeah, Fishing and Picking. The reseller police are welcome to flame me in the comments.
Sit down by the TV. You're staring glassy-eyed at Lawrence Van and the champagne music. We fly on SAS each time we travel. We eat grits and also pickle herring stew. I am glad that I'm a oxen from Wisconsin, or even Minnesota.
Howdy, Lou. A Janssen from Wisconsin.
Lots of milk out in Wisconsin. They played the music since they were born. They're generous and they are quite contented. They like that power fighting evermore. On weekends we just love to go to dances. And then we have a little snort or two. I'm glad that I'm from Wisconsin, or even North Dakota will do. About the South, South Dakota, I love you. And me, you sound like another good Swede. You must have Al Jolson, or that other popular Swede, Tom Jones.
Tom Jones.
I love you. That's real Swedish. So you said it.
I mean, you can see how I've been doing it, which is BCW boxes are crazy, but yeah, eventually I will upgrade.
Couple that our friends had ever seen. Lean at 880 and the groom at 116. He looked and they got fed, but later he turned green.
I mean, really what this was a temporary solution that, like, kind of morphed into a permanent solution. And it's honestly, it's not ideal. I want the bins that are behind that, the goal is to get those out. and I've been selling off that inventory and condensing them down and condensing them down.
Because no one knew that our
They used to, those bins used to spread that whole wall all the way around to like above where the camera is. You can see like that used to all be bins all along there.
He suddenly jumped up on the piano with our best lampshade on his
And
head. And then through the crowd in their wedding dress, all whoppering and ready for fight, came Lena the bride yelling, "Papa, my in-wall is out like a light." And sure enough,
it's getting down there. I could do another condense and probably get another 2 to 3 box bins out of here.
Stretched off just so limp and as light as spaghetti. Well, I felt in his hand and it was cold and moist. And his forehead was colder and moister. And then he opened one eye which looked to me just like a big blue oyster. Then Lena took hold of her husband right by the neck. And by the seat of his pants she took a grip. And she carried him out to the Model T. And they left on the wedding trail. The next day it was Sunday and the preacher had to wait, 'cause some of the wedding guests arrived in church a little late. And the preacher knew the reason for his full collection plate was that someone's like the punch at Lena's wedding. But we all had fun. And Hilda, I know I yabbered it to you too many times before. And I know I said I'd never snuck about it yet. I guess I shouldn't say anything at all since now you belong to Knut. But I just can't let you go without telling you just how much I älskar dig. So that is why I'm going to say it en gång till. Oh, Hilda, come back, jag kan icke förstå. These lonely kvälls är så.
This is such a weird album.
And the sista gång jag ser för dig seemed like 100 år sedan. Back to the arms that will icke wait. I
don't know. It's wavering back and forth. Berlin is not allowed in this basement.
Well, I guess that's all I got to say. I hope so. So I'm just going to take my straw suitcase and I'm going to walk. Why don't you take a taxi? Because I'm crude. Oh, I thought you were Swedish. Oh. I know those bright lights are calling you good, and those big fine Edsels and Kaisers. Not to mention those Hudsons and Studebakers. But if you ever want somebody to just love you, and someday you might, you know where I'll be. On my salmon schooner in Sitka, Alaska. You just call me up to ship to shore. And my phone number is 7777. Oh, Hilda, come back, jag kan icke förstå. These lonely kvälls är så förfärlig. And the sista gång jag ser för dig seemed like 100 år sedan. Back to the arms that will icke wait. Det jag älskar that used to suck some more some come back to bother mig. Jag älskar dig. Oh, Hilda, come back to bother mig. Jag älskar dig. Got a lot of locks, so Hilda, come back to bother mig. Jag älskar dig.
We do not need to send a wellness check on Lobster. I assure you, Lobster is doing quite well right now.
Johan with soft red eyeballs and Frida with light blue hair, he was her man.
Lobster made a buttload of money yesterday. I don't wanna ruin his. You'll hear all about it this week, I'm sure. He's just been busy.
Frida said, Mr. Drop-Tender, I hope you'll give me the scoop. Yes, my man. Is he doing me wrong? Well, lady, it's none of my business, Adam. Maybe I might be wrong. But Johan took off an hour ago with the blonde and the pink sarong.
He sold some things.
But he is doing you wrong.
He sold one really big thing. But I'm gonna let I don't want to step on his toes.
He was her man, but he was doing her wrong. He went down to the Union.
Hello, Carl.
Johan and Nelson out to he was her man, but he was doing her wrong. Johan wound up in the graveyard there she landed in the quake. This story ain't got no moral, but it sure make you stop and think. He was her man, but he was doing her wrong. Turkey Needle died though. What's that mean? I got the suggestion from Hilda, my wife, that I tell our small boy the bare facts of life. So one day I took him and back at the barn, and I started to tell this most difficult yarn. I stuttered and stammered to find the right words when I tell him to go save the bees and the birds. Sing the birdies, these spots in the lane, but the facts of their love life is hard to explain. Now only you got the cute girlfriend.
How much did he get for Consuela? That's funny.
With the bright yellow
that.
This bird she chirps at the bird she likes best. Then the first thing you know, there is eggs in the nest. Then
wow, Tommy and Tracy on fire.
I am sure that my girls can't hatch eggs like a hen. I try to describe the love making of peace. I feel like a yerk and I will get the leaves.
This is a weird album. I have never listened to this before. No. Alright, that's not working. I honestly am still not sure how I even feel about this album. There we go.
Then I told my boy about falling in trees. How love among blossoms depends on the bees. Then only said, don't discuss rooster and hen till I tell you all about women and men. And I
definitely still feel like I'm on the wavering between love and hate.
Here is a new sex educational text. Everything that you wanted to know about sex. Now all that I read during my boyhood years.
I can't. They're speaking like weird Swedish accent. I can't understand what they're saying.
So beautiful ladies in long underwear.
I have no desire to turn this up.
And whatever I go, so my kids will explain.
I didn't click on this album. I have this album in my stock. This is the album. Not only do I have this album, it is autographed. I just picked it at random. I had never heard it before. I will never listen to it again. It's called Stan and Doug, Just Go Country and Western. It's kind of an SNL album, but I have a feeling this is like a Midwest thing back in the 60s or 70s. Gotta be 60s. Let's see what else we got here. That one's supposed to be really good. I can't believe that hasn't sold. Got a bunch of sticks. Maybe we'll figure out another one later. Don't worry, we're not going to hear that again. I don't know how much it's listed for. I really don't. I have no recollection. I forgot it was even back there. Burn it. Hey, I'm sure there's some record collector in Wisconsin collecting regional comedy albums that's going to pay me big money for that someday. It is autographed after all. Tommy, just do a search for whatever it's called. Stan and Doug, Just Go Country and Western. I'm sure I'm probably one of very few sellers out there who have this album. I'm probably the only one who has it autographed. How much do I have it listed for? I'm the cheapest one on eBay. Oh, that's not true. There's some people who are less, but theirs isn't autographed. $13.95 plus shipping is mine. I get copyright claims on pretty much every live that I do, but I've never gotten a strike. The cuticle on my forefinger from doing this yesterday is shredded. And I mean like shredded, like through a cheese grater, not like The Rock. What's going on, Hunter?
All right, Yosemite check.
You know, for the number of top loaders that I have, I could probably sell like in bulk with like fast shipping. Dawn, yes, my plan tomorrow is I'm going to sit and list and do eBay open. I'm interested to see what I've never been to one. I figure I should at least like go peek in, see what's up. Yeah. I'm not worried about it, Tommy. I like for some people they don't care about the autograph, right? So eventually the right person will come along and they'll be like, with an autograph, or like it'll be like a gift for somebody. You know, Grandpa loves Stan and Doug. Hey, here's an autographed copy. That's a great Christmas present. I have a lot of autographed records here, and surprisingly, unless it's like, you know, somebody really famous, most of the time it doesn't matter. I always price it up a little bit, but it also means that I'm usually waiting longer. Yeah, I expect to be very bored to tears. And I've heard that from everything that I've heard from other resellers is like, yeah, you might get like a thing or two out of it, but they don't do a very good job at making it relevant to what they talk a lot about what's going on at eBay. They don't talk a lot about what works for sellers. I think this one I just sold. We might just keep this one out. Can I sell this one? Yes, this one is sold. But I'm going to check it out. And if it's dumb, I'm going to leave. I honestly, I don't have high expectations. But I did register and they sent me a pair of shitty sunglasses and one pack of Via coffee that I don't like. That's not even a base amount of coffee. Yeah, that's Windy Lou back there. Like one Via doesn't even register on the caffeine scale. And then I got an eBay cup and some trail mix.
Yeah, busy.
Pretty uninspired. the same time, so then there's this other thing happening in Vegas in October that I've like basically like everyone they have signed up for it is doing promotion for it. So there's like I saw Wade's Ventures, now Rally Roots is on it. Who else? And it's like $250 though. And that just is just the ticket to the event. Which maybe is a good deal. Oh yeah, I bet you. I bet Tommy. I bet you're right. eBay Open is a marketing tool for eBay. That's it. I already know that going in. Tommy, the money grab thing. Are you talking about this Vegas thing coming up? That's $250, but they're supposedly not paying their speakers, which I don't understand the math on all of that. How is it $250 to attend a conference when none of the speakers are getting paid? Yeah, Vegas, yes. So something doesn't check out. They may not be paying their speakers, but they're definitely like flying them out and putting them up in a hotel. And probably buying all of their meals, and they don't have to pay, obviously, for the event. So, how is it a event that is by and for, like the reseller rally that John and Lonnie put on? Like, it was $100, and you knew where the money was going, and you got a shirt. And I saw some of these other speakers, and I'm not impressed. Prairie Crit. Oh, for World Series of Poker? Is that same weekend? Jen, tell me more. I need answers. WSOP isn't that weekend, is it? In October? No, it can't be. Because it's like in March, April, I thought. Oh, wait, no, maybe you're right. Is it? I don't know. Somebody Google it for me. Long Beach. Dude, right now, like, Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tommy, I agree with. Yes, I agree with you. Flights to Vegas are super cheap from where I live. I'm looking at going down, doing some traveling in beginning part of September, and for me to go from Washington to the Bay Area to Colorado to Las Vegas, then back here, the whole thing airfare was under $400. Hey. What is Prairie Grit? Is that like flights all over from here? SeaTac's an Alaska hub, so you can get to from here to Denver cheaply, and then once you're in Denver, now you're in a Delta hub. So if you change airlines, you can go a lot of places pretty inexpensively if you're going from hub to hub for one of the legs. Oh, Prairie Grit is a reseller that sells gravel. Got it. Dude, I can't believe this postcard hasn't sold. This is from the 60s. Disneyland postcard, unposted. Awesome Tinkerbell. No one's bought it. Oh. Yeah, I played online poker back when it was legal and people sucked and there were no bots as well. Now you can't play because it's people A are better, B there's too many bots, and there's no regulation. So it's just this like shit show of cheaters and robots stealing your money. Like you have too many like, and then you have all these players who are doing like GSO, like no, Don, I am merging two separate sort of inventories of postcards for a couple of reasons. One, for space. Two, because I don't want to buy any more top loaders for a very long time. And I'm doing it now because Q4 is coming. It's taking me too long to find postcards. So it is high time that I do QA. Really, Lou's going crazy. On my inventory, make sure that things are where they're supposed to be. And all the while, I am also gaining top loaders for shipping. I'm not using them for storage anymore. It's too expensive and it takes up too much space, and I can't scale. When I wasn't listing lower price cards, it made sense because my I wasn't listing so many that my inventory was growing fast enough. But it doesn't make sense for me to store a $3 card in a 50-cent top loader. Ever since that change happened. So, changing it up. Yeah, the online poker thing, pretty much like, I mean, Black Friday was pretty fucked up. Um, and if anyone isn't familiar what Black Friday was, it was basically the day that, well, there was a few things that happened really bad. One is like basically the feds came after the biggest sites, which was PokerStars and Full Tilt Poker, and basically like the owners of those companies were using player deposits for these like high risk investments and losing their money. So basically, like what happened overnight is like many online players had their accounts basically zeroed. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars lost. Uh, and there was indications of problems leading up to it. Like people were not able to withdraw money, were not able to get their money out in timely manners. Like there's red flag after red flag after red flag. Now you have, there are other poker sites that are popping up all over the place, but they're under the regulations of wherever they're set up. And in most cases, it's like the Bahamas. And we all know why people put money in the Bahamas, right? So there's not a lot of regulation. There's not a lot of oversight. There's not a lot of like, there's nobody watching over it to make sure that it's fair and there's not cheating and there's not, you're not supposed to have any assistance when you're playing, but people play with GTO charts, which is like game theory optimization, right? So if I have this hand and the other player bets this amount in this position, here is what I should do, right? So they have these like solver programs they run on their computer, so they're doing the optimal play at any point. So you're basically playing against a computer, even if it's just a human, right? So very, very hard to win. And so, Carl, I don't think it's just skill. I think it's people have better tools. Oh, we're not ready for San Francisco yet. All right, next one. Yeah, it is gonna crumble again. It's what's the one? It's Phil Hellmuth's site. that he's like a huge investor in. America's Poker Room, which is the worst name for it because it's based in the frickin' Bahamas. Like, it's not America's Poker Room, it's the Bahamas Poker Room, but it's called America's Poker Room. But they have, I don't know, dozens of poker stars shilling for them. What's going on, Cameron? But yeah, the Twitch streamers, there's there's YouTube poker channels that do the same thing. I like the Doug Polk, the Doug Polk podcast, because he like calls out all that bullshit. Like, I don't particularly care for him as a personality or a player, but he's fun to watch. He did earlier this year. He did a, what was it, 10,000 hands against Daniel Negreanu, or was that late last year? It was late last year into early this year. That was a lot of fun to watch. I like Daniel Negreanu too, but he's one of those like taking small doses. Hello, Amy. Yeah, the Polk Negreanu feuds are fun to watch. They've buried the hatchet though now. Like, he was Negreanu went on the second episode of the new Doug Polk podcast, and they basically like agreed to, you know, they will disagree with each other, but they're not going to go after each other anymore, which is kind of sad, but you know. How did we get on Poker Feuds? Oh, that's right. We went. Wow, we went from how's the eBay Open to the thing in October to the whatever rally in October to World Series of Poker Championship to online poker to Black Friday to Poker Feuds. That about sum it up? I think that sums it up. How is work, Cameron? All right, San Francisco. Ooh. Oh shit. Ohio, 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 Ohio. There it is. with Ether. Oh, you talk crypto? I'm not much of a crypto guy. I'm not against it. I hear Kitty Thunder upstairs. Yeah, I need to get this job and my back stock done because I'm coming down there and we're doing some sourcing this weekend. I need somewhere to put it. I have I have a Coinbase account, and I do have a little bit in there, but it's not a ton. Whoa! Hat someone sold from a local bait and tackle shop for 300. That's crazy. I mean, fishermen are crazy for fisherman stuff. So I guess it shouldn't be that surprising. That's a pretty awesome comp, though. Listed for 500, make offer. I know you hate offers, Tony, but sometimes. All right. After this pile, I need to go grab some coffee upstairs real quick. Our caffeine levels are dipping. It's unacceptable. All right, be right back. Excuse me. Excuse me. That is the worst place ever for this. So many bad things would happen if that spilled. so many. All right. But that is Sacramento is now done. Hooray. No, we missed a Sacramento. I have not seen the show start up. I've heard it's really good, though. Maybe I should start making a tower of boxes of top loaders. I probably have around 1,000 pulled already. Oh, I already got this. Oh, thank you. Her and her brother are very cute. She doesn't like it when I'm down here. She gets very anxious whenever I come down here. Isn't that right, Wendy Lou? Berkeley. Yeah, she's pretty chill at the moment. I don't know why she gets anxious when I come down here. I think part of it is like whenever I come down here and she doesn't know that I've like left the main living area, it's like I've ceased to exist for a short period of time. So she gets anxious. She's like, "Come back here and start existing again." But what's funny is like I have a Furbo, which is like a doggy cam, but I got it for the cats. And like she doesn't get stressed out when I'm like leave the house. So it's just when I'm down here apparently. All right. California was a really big state to get out of the way. So nope, she didn't like that. All right. This can go on the floor. All right. So this is the California big ass trees section. You'd be surprised how many big ass trees they made postcards of in California. Look, there's some horses coming out of a big ass tree. Look, it's a whole army on a big ass tree. Look, it's just a big ass tree that some people are living in. They put a fence around this big ass tree. Here's some people hanging out up on a big ass tree. Here we have a horse and carriage on a big ass tree. Here's some lumberjacks hanging out while they cut down a big ass tree. Here's a big ass tree with, I don't know, tree aids. And then this one, I'm pretty sure that's a pedophile staking out some little kid around the corner of a big ass tree. And that is why we have a whole section of California big ass trees. No, I said tree aids. Big ass trees in California sell. People buy the big ass tree postcards. You know what's weird is the number of international sales I make of California big ass trees. A lot of my big ass tree postcards go to Japan and China. Why? Maybe they don't have big ass trees over there. Maybe every family is only allowed to have one big ass tree, so they have to collect postcards of big ass trees. To pretend like they have maybe a second big ass tree in the family. From Ottawa. Yeah, I mean, hey, don't get me wrong. I've been all up in them big ass trees, and they are fantastic. The sequoias and redwoods all are amazing, and if anyone has the opportunity to go check them out, I recommend it. I'm not trying to diss on no trees, yo. Oh, they got oh, you got it. Okay, that's good. I mean, personally, I think Chinese families should be able to have as many big ass trees as they want, but I understand resources are sometimes. Yep, it muted. Sorry, it does it randomly sometimes. Uh, nope, your Wi-Fi is fine. It for some reason on this computer the browser connection to the microphone randomly just gets disconnected, so it happens every now and then. Just tell me if you don't hear anything, and hopefully I see it in a timely manner. But it always seems to happen at the most inopportune time, like when I'm not looking at it and on some long diatribe that you only hear a third of. Oh, this is so mind-numbing. It's great entertainment. Hey, but this is the stuff that it's not glorious, it's not flashy, it's not exciting, but it's what it is real. Like, this is the kind of crap you got to do if you're going to be doing this. Like, you may not be in your basement sorting postcards, but I bet you whatever it is you're doing with your business, you've got your own sort of menial, non-revenue generating, boring tasks you gotta do every so often. What are yours? Let me know. Tell me in your chat. yes, I am taking my current. The project has many elements to it, but part one is removing postcards from top loaders, making sure that they have penny sleeves. Yeah. I am also doing QA checking on my sorting and organization. So I am rehoming anything that has been missorted, which honestly, so far, it's been pretty good. Why? Reason number one, space. Reason number two, top loaders, in case you haven't noticed, are on back order, and the price on them has risen 30% in the past 6 months. So, personally, I don't want to buy any more top loaders for a while. Today I learned swizzle sticks. Yeah, they do sell. Glass ones. If you can find glass ones and like in a set, those do really well. But the advertising ones do as well. So, here is about half of what I've pulled so far. And then here's another box. Like that right there is probably at least 2 months of sales. Like I can ship. I don't have to buy top loaders at least for a couple of months at this point. And we are about to start box number 3. So, Carl, I do use penny sleeves for new cards. But when I started doing this, I was storing all in top loaders because the only thing I was storing were in general cards that were like $7 and up. So a little more valuable and worth listing. Since I started this endeavor, though, eBay started standard envelope, where now it's worthwhile for me to list lower value cards. So once that happened, I stopped using top loaders for storage. But what I ended up with now is 2 sort of disparate organization systems. One that were basically almost set by the date, like May 1st. Anything after May 1st was in penny sleeves only. Anything before that was in top loaders. Now, anytime something gets delisted and relisted, like I could go look at the date something was listed and figure out which of those systems it's in. However, if I ever do something like delisting and relisting, or if eBay one day decides that it's going to stop automatically relisting my items, which happened in April, or if something else happens and I want to be able to relist items or whatever, where do something with a listing where the listing date is not part of how I find the item. I need parity of my organization, right? I need one system, not 2 systems, one system for everything. One ring to rule them all. So that's what this is about. It's about taking that older system, and I'm only honestly like 3 months into the new one, May 1st, right? So that's 3 months in, a little over that. And it's already become too cumbersome for me to be able to manage both mentally and physically 2 different systems. So this is about getting it taken care of now so that I can scale it moving forward and not have to worry about it. It's one system, it works, and it's going to continue working moving forward. Good, I understand. Does everybody understand? Have I added all my listings to the eBay? I do not do that. In fact, I've never run across a listing that had like I find and has just fallen off. The only exception to that was the inventory that I purchased from another eBayer, and that was a situation where the stuff had just not migrated. And I periodically spot check my old listings down here as well, and I've never found one that just disappeared. So if you're talking like the zero quantity option, I don't use that. Got to respond to a message. Somebody from Germany complaining about the cost of shipping from the US. Nothing new. I don't doubt that I have some that have fallen off, but I honestly like. Are you and you're Tommy? Just to be clear, you're talking about the zero quantity inventory option. All right, that's Colorado. We're not to Colorado yet. Okay, Yosemite. Shasta. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to begin wrapping my brain around how to go back and check based on how I operate. Trying to think how many, like I spot check and I've not found one yet. So like most of everything seems to move through the system okay. I have done some delisting, relisting. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now. Yep. Well, maybe that'll be a project for next month. It's definitely not a project for this month. I got enough on my plate this month. All right. So I think we just have the bin of Rando, California to do. That's all done. That's all done. That's done. All right. And we're probably going to have to add a few more segments here. Nice, Cameron. That's an awesome sale. Yeah, I saw that on your pickups. Yeah, Tommy, and it's not 11,000 anymore. It's 14. I just passed 14,000 listings last week. But it's, I mean, that's something that it's like, it's never too late to start, right? So getting that in place for moving forward is good. I've also I've really been looking at what's it called? Not Sellbrite, the other one. Shop. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Tommy, is. But there's, what's the one with that is like the multi-platform integrated thing that's also like it's got inventory management built in. Shopify, that's the one. Yes. I toyed around with it a little bit last year, and I just wasn't to the point where I was ready to do it yet. Yeah, I think Shopify is the future as well. But Shopify didn't make sense for me at that point because one, I was really only on Hip, Bonanza, and eBay, which are all integrated to each other. And I wasn't like, I didn't think about how I was going to manage sales on multiple platforms when I went that way. And it's been a little bit of a struggle dealing with Hip and Bonanza. Like, I've had a couple of times where stuff didn't get pulled down the way it should. All right, this is that's agriculture. We definitely need a Pasadena. I think we need a Pasadena and a Palo Alto. Those are the two that I know we need to add sections for. And I think we might want to do Monterey, Pasadena, and Palo Alto. Yeah. See you, Don. Is one of those things that I feel like is just it's a skill set that I need to learn, right? It's, you know, it's like with anything, right? Like, you start out, you don't know it, you start doing it, you learn a little bit, you get better, you hone it, you get a little better after that, a little better after that. It's one of those things where you don't want to try to learn 10 new skill sets at a time. Cashier, okay, Pasadena, agriculture. I think I'm going to just go ahead and commit to a Monterey. No harm in doing it. I know I've got a good number. I think I've got it enough to justify Monterey having their own section. And also, I think Santa Barbara also needs their own section. All right. Oh, and you know what else we need is missions. We need a section for missions. That's terrible handwriting that I will not stand. Are you talking about part-time picker Matt's manifesto? San Fernando mission. It's already paying off. There's Santa Barbara. Needles. Calistoga. Santa Barbara again. Ooh, we may need we definitely need a Catalina as well. All right. All right. Santa Barbara. Pasadena. Generic. Redlands. Technically, Mare Island is Bay Area, but it's not Oakland or San Francisco. So, it's just generic California. These are all done. We're good there. Next. Talek. Oh, Mount Talek is Tahoe. I don't think I have it listed as Tahoe. It's close to Shasta, but it doesn't count as Shasta. Sorry for the slightly less talking. I'm actually concentrating. This is the part that actually requires a little bit of attention versus just menial yanking stuff out of top ropes. So I'm definitely pulling some cards out that should have been filed into cities that have not been filed into cities, which that only adds to time looking for items. It makes the system inefficient. Pretty sure this says Yosemite. No, it does not say. It is unspecified. Oh, and now I messed up my light. Back with what was my life? It was the same. Pictures after the 1906 quake, postcards of that, never do very well for me. like images of like the San Francisco fire, or yeah, like destruction after the earthquake. Like in general, natural disaster postcards have just, they don't do well for me. Strangely, I would think they would have more of a sort of niche collector's market, considering like, you know, disaster movies are always big hits. And yeah, fishing and picking, my life is the same, just less postcards. Yeah, but they just haven't. The disaster postcards have not done great for me. Maybe I need to go take a look. Maybe I'm priced too high on them. Maybe I don't know. But I have like a bunch from like the East Coast flood, a bunch from the San Francisco quake, some from the Portland, Oregon flood, some real photos from that one. Um, the ones that do well are sinking boats and uh, burning blimps, things like that. Yeah, Mount St. Helens is another one. I've done okay, and those here are easy to come across. I just actually got a ton of them from the guy I did the private buy from. This is Washington. This is not. This is why we're doing this, right, Wendy? We will just put it over in Washington State. It's a nice large letter for Catalina Island. That's one of the few that are a little slightly more valuable than some other ones. Oh man, I'm shredding a second cuticle now. Alright, time to array. Should probably alphabetize these two while I'm at it, right? That would make sense. San Diego, Tahoe. Camp Roberts would be up front. Catalina should also be up front, but after Camp Roberts. Catalina. So many missions. I think agriculture. That's an A. Israel, Tahoe. How did these get out of Tahoe? A for agriculture, B for big ass trees. Lots of S's. Oh, we got Berkeley. Disneyland. Although technically Anaheim, but and then we got our probably we skip all the way to L's after that, right? Yeah, we do. Long Beach. Yeah, it's gonna be Catalina, Disneyland, Lake Tahoe, Long Beach, Los Angeles, and then into our M's. Missions. Monterey. Shasta. Mount Tamalpais. Then comes Oakland. Palo Alto. Oops. Pasadena. Riverside. San Diego. Santa Barbara. Yeah. San Francisco. Oh, I missed one here. We got Sacramento in front of San Diego. And San Jose. Then Santa Barbara. Stanford. Stockton. Yosemite. All right, that should make things easier. It's true, Mark. All the time. You never know. People's collections are constantly evolving and changing, and you know, it's like you're not going to be able to predict the future and what's going to become popular and why. Not Shasta. Agriculture. Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara. While we're here, do we have any other Santa Barbaras? Nope. 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 All right. Amazing how much faster it is once you have it alphabetized. Yeah, it's true, Mark. And it really like is months of work before you start really seeing the return on it. I got lucky early on, definitely. Like I was able to get some really good inventory that sort of kicked me off. And coupled with just slowly accumulating backstock until I had plenty to just start going for it. But you're right. Like, you can't just start buying and selling postcards overnight. Like, it's not like you can just decide to start doing it and then it's like you're off to the races just that easy. Like, you could definitely buy and sell some, but it's going to be slow going. That said, there are, you know, if with enough knowledge, you can be very targeted in your buys. And, if you find if you wait and you know what to buy and when to buy and what's the right stuff to buy, there is some stuff you can, really, like, is almost guaranteed always going to sell. Like, if anybody here, if I find out you're ever at like an estate sale or whatever, and you pass by an album full of like real photo postcards of early 1900s baseball players, and you don't buy it, I will come to your house and harm you. Not really, but if you've been watching this channel, you should, you should have at least like some basic knowledge of how to be somewhat dangerous, or at the very least opportunistic. But yeah, there's a grind element to it. And it's not going to be for everybody. And that's okay. I can't deal with clothing. Just not my thing. I think that for the people that can do that and deal with the measurements and the amount of customer service involved with returns and all of that, it's amazing. Because it's not something, I could deal with the customer service element of it, but I don't think I could deal with the amount of returns and the accuracy really that is required from being a clothing seller. I think that one of the things I like about postcards is that it's very forgiving, right? Like, I don't have to point out every flaw in a thing. I can take good, high quality scans, and you can see for yourself, and you're going to get basically what you see is what you get, which is, there's not a lot of collectibles where you're going to get that same sort of leeway, right? Hot Wheels collectors are very, very much about the condition of the items they're getting. Sports cards, Pokemon, non-sports cards collectors in general, outside of the postcard category, vintage toys, you name it. Condition is a major factor in practically every other collectible category. I agree. I have the exact same condition statement in my postcards as well, and I took it from Popeye, almost word for word. It's altered slightly, but it's basically the same. And it's honestly the minimum required. And for me, I don't necessarily think that I have the greatest attention to detail. At least that's what my teachers always said when I was in school. So, I don't think I'm real great at being able to spot every flaw in a thing. So, it's a category that I can sell in and do well in, that I can sort of mitigate the places where I have weaknesses. Fishing and picking, I scan every postcard. DS510 is a fantastic scanner. That is my next scanner. I'm using a Epson ES400 right now. It works great. There's, every now and then I'll get a batch that turns up like a little bit dark. Even after properly cleaning the screen and all that, or the lens and all that. But in general, I think I'm very, very happy with it. Yeah, ES400, and it wasn't super expensive. You can buy them used for pretty inexpensive as well. So, but it's definitely, the auction professor did a video recently. And it was like the title is something like kind of something stupid, but I think it was like the most valuable piece of equipment, reseller equipment that I own. And I agree with the sentiment. I have run now 20,000 items through that scanner, and it still does it no problem. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. How many categories are there that it's gonna writing on a thing can add value, right? I was talking with when I talked with the the guy I did my most recent buy with. We were just chatting about rare Seattle postcards, and because he was asking me if you ever run across any that are this specific thing that I collect, please let me know. I'll pay full retail for it, but I'd really like to have first crack if you run across anything like this. And I can't really say what it is, because if I give away what it is, I'm giving away the collection, which means I'm giving away the source. And even though the odds that anything would ever get back is infinitesimally small, I don't want that to happen. And he watches these videos sometimes, so I don't want to give it away. But basically, as a Washington State postcard collector, the rarest cards for Washington, if you're looking for them, you're not going to find them in Washington. You're going to find them somewhere else. He bought a card that's in his collection, a very, very rare one, that basically spent the last 100 years in Scandinavia before coming back to the Pacific Northwest after 100 years. But that's the nature of postcards, right? They weren't necessarily meant to be just bought and kept. They were meant to be bought and mailed, sent away, shared. So, if you're and it's really not until the internet came around that all of a sudden people now have access to this huge range of items. And somebody on the other side of the world decides he's going to list a card from the Pacific Northwest on a whim, and that card in turn finds the collector who's been looking for it for the last 20 years. There's the snapshot of a story that you sometimes get on the back of the card, But the card itself has a story on its own too. I mean, you know, there's the image on the front, there's the message on the back, but where did this card go? How did it get to? How did a postcard that was mailed from Pacific Grove, California, to Cupertino, California, in 1907 end up in the hands of me here in Seattle, Washington, or Bremerton, Washington, rather, 113 years later? I know the answer to that just because I know the name of the person back here, and it tells me exactly how I got this card. It's another card from Miss Daisy Graves. But Daisy Graves had a story as well. She had roots in Mississippi. There's a lot of information on a little piece of cardboard. And a baseball card doesn't necessarily have that same sort of rich history. It can. I'm not saying it doesn't in every case, but it's less common than, and not necessarily less common, but it's not as specific or unique as with something like a postcard. It's different too. I mean, right? It's back of a baseball card, we're talking statistics. So there is some specific information and data on the back of that card, but it's not telling a story. Yeah, Mark, I know you don't spend it. And I'm not saying like I spend a ton of time on every card. Most of them are about the same amount of time as well, right? It's like pull it out of a pile, list it, throw it in a sleeve, and put it away. That said, there sometimes, when you get a collection that came from a specific person, you get a little bit of a window into their life, right? So it's, I think there's a certain amount of respect that comes when you start, taking apart a collection like that to try to, put together a little bit the story of what that collection can tell you. If I'm just buying a shoebox of postcards at random, I'm not doing that. But I agree with that. Most postcards about 5 minutes cradle to grave. And I'm really talking more about the collector appeal than I am about than anything else, really. And I'm not trying to like rag on baseball card collectors. I used to be one. Man, all this inventory I'm touching, I'm gonna sell so much today. Nice, good job, Cameron. Get that money. Chase that paper. I don't like that. Those big ones. I like that. Oh my god, it's the last pile. California. Oh, nice. I sold running up to the election last year. I bought like throughout the year I was buying the stupid Trump apprentice dolls, and I was buying them on eBay auction, and then just like turning around and like doubling my money, selling them as buy it now. And then the election happened, and I still had 3 left, and I thought I was screwed. But then they all sold during Christmas. You're heading to Everett for the weekend from Okanagan. Are you going to the I'm going to be in Portland. Smile Time Gifts. Come on. Need more advance notice than that. I would have come met you. I'm not going to Portland, but I'm going to be in Southern Washington. Are you going to the Everett swap meet flea market thing? Oh, just yard sales. Okay. Everett's a good area for it. Also, out towards Darrington and getting off towards the North Cascade Highway. You don't necessarily want to go down the North Cascades Highway, but Darrington is a good place to look out. And sort of like that northeast Everett, Marysville is a good place for yard sales. Monroe, also good. Santa Maria is where this card is from. I could probably do a Carmel section, but I don't think we're quite yet to Carmel. I think we need to get a few more out there. All right. Santa Barbara. All right, and now this is the big one. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some other dividers added here soon. But that's not today. This is that Sacramento. I could probably add one for the Italian Swiss winery, Mount Lassen. There's more Italian Swiss. Here's one from Oregon. Should not be there. More big ass trees. Other side. Whoa. Probably do a Calistoga and a Sonoma. Fresno probably coming down the pipe as well. Ooh. The world's largest grapevine. Does it go in the big ass tree section? Is the question. Technically not a tree. So we're going to say no. Oh, you didn't miss anything, Amy. You just you missed me going through postcards and talking about big ass trees. Nope, I'm still in California today. I think today is California only, honestly. We are at 2 hours and 36 minutes. This will probably take me over the 3 hour mark, and then I got some stuff to list. Sacramento. All right. Caffeine levels getting low. Mission Riverside. Big ass trees. Missions. Pasadena. I'm not going to call that Riverside. All right. Next batch. Hey, Mark, here's the Upjohn Company. I'm putting it in Disneyland section because it's technically it's at Disneyland, even though it's a Michigan company. Here's, I think that's the one you sold, maybe. Fishing and picking. I am currently merging two separate inventories of postcards into one inventory of postcards. The older inventory has been stored until now in top loaders, which I am not going to be doing that anymore. So I am removing all the old inventory from the top loaders. Let's see, which ostrich farm is this? It's not the same. The Croston one is San Diego, I believe. Croston Ostrich Farm. That's San Diego, I know it is. Yep, says right there. Oh, that's Bentley's Ostrich Farm. They had a lot of ostrich farms in San Diego back in the day. So right now I am filing away the state of California into its various cities and mountains and areas based on content and location. So that moving forward, it will be easier to manage and locate cards as they sell. I'm basically more or less dealing with the problem before it becomes a problem. That's even being generous. I'm dealing with a problem as it's beginning to become a problem. But if I don't do it now, then it's going to become a very big problem sooner than later. Because it's not like I'm listing less postcards. Hi, Windy Lou. She was hiding back in. When I'm down here, sometimes she hides in the bins, between the bins right there, and sleeps. It's pretty cute. This is just a bear in California. Salia, Huntington Beach, Disneyland, Needles, San Diego, Los Gatos, Santa Rosa. That there's Luther Burbank. He invented some cherries, some other things. Santa Cruz is probably going to do its own thing. That's agriculture. Palo Alto, Berkeley. It's so Knott's Berry Farm is a confusing one because sometimes it is attributed to Buena Park, California. Sometimes it's attributed to Anaheim, California. Sometimes it's attributed to Los Angeles, California. So it's difficult to categorize. So I have chosen not to. It just is in the California. Maybe someday, if I have enough Knott's Berry Farm, I'll just do a Knott's Berry Farm section. Could also probably do Bakersfield. I could probably also do just a Redwood Highway. Santa Barbara. Tahoe. That's those. And now the final sort down. We're going to have room for everything is the first question. Okay. Sounds like someone just got their Navy paycheck. Oakland. There's Yosemite. Back. I don't know what God's Way thrift store is. Assume it's thrift store. Sorry. Boom. All right. Tomorrow we will start, I believe, with Ohio. Tower of Top Loaders. Best selling state for California does very well. Texas does pretty good. Mississippi does very well for me. So yeah, I mean it's really hard to say what the best is. It's there's too many factors. And it changes, right? It's uh Tommy did a search recently and said the most searched for is West Virginia. I would say that one after that, I listed all of my West Virginia cards, and they've been selling very well. Texas does really well for me. California does really well. Mississippi's done really well. But at the end of the day, it's really more about the specific content on the card than the location. Hopefully that answers the question. Maybe. All right. I'm done with doing this today. I'm going to list some things now, but first I'm going to take a nap and probably have some food. Not going to do this tomorrow, but probably Thursday we'll do this again. Tomorrow I'm going to work on my backstock a little bit. Going to list, going to watch the eBay Open, blah, blah, blah. And but we will be back tomorrow for our usual shipping shit. So until then, hope everyone has a great day. Well, current events do sometimes factor in. You never know. But that's that. All right, folks. Gonna eat and stuff. Bye.